Let's bring in live from the southern border, Anna Giaritelli with the Washington Examiner. She is in El Paso, Texas, and Todd Bensman, a fellow at the Center for Immigration Studies, is right across the border in Matamoras, Mexico. Thanks to the both of you for being here. Todd, we'll begin with you. What are you seeing on the other side of the border there in Mexico, less than 24 hours before Title 42 is set to expire?
Right. Well, right now, as we're speaking, there is a brand new unit of the Texas Department of Public Safety that has just been deployed to the other side. Right now, they are yelling and shouting "alto, alto" to a large group of immigrants who are right down here trying to cross. The Department of Public Safety is defending a long row of razor wire, and the question is what would happen if the immigrants actually climbed up and got into contact with them. I'm told that they will be armed with pepper balls to fire or potentially fire, and that they are under orders to not let any immigrants up this riverbank. And this comes after just days and even weeks of just thousands of immigrants from this camp, very vast camp here, pouring over the border in coordination between the United States Border Patrol and the Mexican Immigration Service. The U.S. tells Mexico when to let them in, and then they'll cross in, and when to stop them, and then they'll stop them for a while. And in the meantime, Texas DPS is like, yeah, we're not having that. We're going to go ahead and get right in your way. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Todd, you were talking about the group of people trying to get crossed, and you can hear them yelling right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Is it always this active, just 24/7?
Yes, it has been 24/7. You have immigrants who are showing up at the bus station here, bus after bus, all day, all night, from other parts of Mexico. They're coming to Matamoras. They tell me because the Biden administration is letting them in. This is the spot where if they can get across, the Biden administration is going to parole them on into, they're not going to 42 them. They're going to parole the majority of them into, New Jersey, New York, Denver, Chicago. They're moving in all over the country, our country. And so it's this incredible enticement and incentivization. And they're explaining that to me when I ask them, why are you coming here? So it's that's really what's going on here. There are other ones who are in this camp who do not plan to go until they find out after Title 42, which is midnight tonight, whether that's going to continue. So if it does continue, you'll see a whole lot more. They're telling me that if the Americans are letting them in, they are going in a big group. They're all a big mass group. Yeah.
Before we bring in Anna, I want to follow up on what you just mentioned in your previous answer. You're reporting that Biden officials are literally coordinating with Mexican officials to let migrants come over to Brownsville, Texas. It's part of a coordinated effort. It seems to me that it's all about optics, not wanting to have too many people crowd at the border at any one particular time in order to facilitate the processing in a more orderly fashion. Walk us through in more detail exactly what you've seen, exactly what you've heard.
Yes, well, I just broke the story yesterday at CIS.org, Center for Immigration Studies, that the Mexican immigration officials here are using a WhatsApp, an encrypted WhatsApp channel with the Americans, and they are coordinating groups on this side to swim over to that side. And when enough have gone over, usually 150, 100, 200, then the immigration authorities stop everybody and make them wait until they get a call from the Americans to say, okay, bring the next group. And I watched this happen all day long and all night long until I finally thought, this is strange. And I started asking around, why are you letting them in this way? And 5 different Mexican immigration officers explained, yeah, this is all part of a coordinated effort with the Americans. That is happening.
Wow.
And it's a bit troubling because that shows kind of an acquiescence by the Biden administration to the illegal immigrants, to illegal immigration generally, not to block, stop, and deter, but to facilitate and accommodate in a way that is the least visible and has the least problematic political optics.
Yeah, concerning to say the least. With that reporting, Todd. Anna, I want to go to you now. It's no secret that El Paso is a disaster right now. We've seen videos, we've seen pictures, we've spoken to people who live there. You were actually with ICE and CBP patrol agents on Tuesday as they were clearing people out downtown. We know that was an effort that they did, but what is Border Patrol saying their fears are, come midnight tonight when Title 42 does end, and what are you seeing at the same time?
Yeah, I spoke with the head of Border Patrol, Raul Ortiz, yesterday, just less than 12 hours ago, actually, and he made a really startling statement. He said they believe at Border Patrol the worst is over. They believe this is the surge for Title 42. It's coming before it actually ends. And he was saying he doesn't expect to hit the 18,000 apprehensions per day. We saw 11,000 apprehensions yesterday, but they think we're going to be in the clear. It's sort of like we're climaxing now, and it's going to be better than what we've seen the last few days.
Anna, when you say the worst is over, are you talking about just for El Paso?
We're talking nationwide.
All right.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? I mean, based upon what you're seeing on the ground and the just overall feel that one can get when they're reporting from a community like you are, do you agree with that statement?
I think in El Paso we've seen new spots where people are crossing, groups of several hundred. There were 2,000 about 10 miles outside of town the other day, and it's probably where they're going to keep crossing. I think there's a rush to get in. I was speaking with Venezuelan migrants yesterday downtown at the church, and they were saying we wanted to get in before Title 42 ends, because then after Title 42, you get arrested at the border, you're banned for 5 years from seeking admission again through this CBP One app. So for a lot of people, they're trying to beat the clock, which I think we sort of forgot about in the lead up to this.
So to follow up quickly, we've been basically assuming that the migrants themselves did not know about the change in law that would occur at the end of Title 42. You're basically saying, hey, these migrants know darn well the law and they know how to manipulate it, and that's why maybe they came in advance of Title 42 expiring, correct?
I think it's really a mix, right? Because I don't think the average American really understands Title 42 necessarily. I think migrants that I was speaking with, they heard back in Venezuela, yeah, you can come now. We did a story on it. That they're giving out, they'll take care of you. There's food, there's shelter, there's benefits to be had. They're willing to help you. And so when they came to El Paso and they're living on the street, 2,500 people that we saw this last week, it was a very different reality that they experienced. And I think it surprised them, frankly.
Yeah, I bet it did. And I'm sure it surprised the people of El Paso, too, who were dealing with it, and the business owners downtown dealing with what they were dealing with. What you said, there was 2,500 people, migrants being housed in a church. I mean, I can only imagine the strain that puts on not just Border Patrol, but the city and the people who live there who are not used to this type of situation. Todd and Anna, thank you so much for this insight this morning. We really appreciate it. And Todd, stay safe over there.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.